Hello pals and welcome to Ren's World. So sorry, I haven't posted a video in several weeks. I could give you excuses, but you don't want to hear all of them. But enough rambling because it's gonna be a longer-ish video than usual. This video is all about 10 tips for students with mental illness. I feel like these are tips that I would have wanted to hear before last year and would have really helped me. So I hope this video can help like anyone. That would be great. Cool. Also, I'm not wearing glasses. I don't have contacts and I just don't feel like it right now. Tip number 1 is all about stress. Stress is a really big factor to potentially like increase symptoms and all of that. The biggest thing is learning how to handle stress, whether it be that you're taking harder classes or a lot of social things that go on, and it's important to learn how to manage them. And one of my biggest tips is keep a planner. If you write down everything that you have to do that day, it will make it feel like every time you check something off of that list, some weight is taken off your shoulders. Another tip for stress is stay away from drama. It's kind of obvious, but at the same time, just like promise you that if you avoid drama, then there's gonna be less stress. My second tip is going to be about mental health days. Mental health days are really important, and I can't stress enough about how they are real and or need to be taken when needed and not treated like it's a big burden to have a mental health day, or that they're not as important as physical health days. But the biggest thing about mental health days is that school practically eliminates the purpose of them, because when you go to school the next day you have twice the amount of work, which means twice the amount of stress, or maybe you feel even worse because you realize that it's twice the amount of work that you don't feel like you can actually do in the moment. My biggest tip for this one is try to manage out when you take these days to just be by yourself, because yes, it's important, but at the same time, school completely conflicts the idea of even having them. If you have your easier classes in the morning and then your harder classes later, maybe after lunch, then take off half the day instead of the whole day, and it will lessen the amount of work that you get back. And any other way you learn to manage and space them out correctly, and I know you can't like really plan them, because if you could, that'd be really great, but if you learn any more tips that I can't currently think of right now, leave them down in the comments. So getting into like the kind of social part of school, here's tip number 3, and that is about friendships. Friendships are great, but kind of hard to make for some people, especially if you're socially anxious or anxious in a new way, or if you just feel closed off. And this is going to be a really cheesy story, but something that I used to do back in like elementary school, but it's still relevant till now, is every single day make a little goal for myself for what I'm gonna do to make a new friend. For example, one day I would say, I'm gonna compliment someone on their outfit today. I'm going to say hi to someone I haven't said hi before. Or if I see someone who has a pin on their backpack or some sort of clothing that represents like a fandom or whatever I was into in the moment, I would like make it my goal to, like, if I see someone like that, I will go talk to that person. And if you make this little goal, 1, you'll feel super accomplished, and 2, you can make a potential friend out of the deal. Maybe someone else who has a harder time creating friendships. I promise you this works. Like, I don't know. I really hope it does, and if it actually does and you end up making my friend from doing this, like, comment down below, because that'd be really great. Self-expression. It's great and it makes you feel so good inside. For example, I have this like grandpa cardigan. I don't know where it came from, but it makes me feel super cool. Maybe you want to wear something obviously school appropriate to school, but you feel others are constantly judging you for maybe what you're wearing or how your hair looks. Just gonna let you know, once you get past a certain point, people just aren't judging you, and self-expression is really important. And maybe slowly go into like how you want to dress and how you want to wear your hair, and even how you want to show your art, like on a display case in the school. Just go ahead, do it, and just see what happens, you know? Make sure it is a safe environment. So if you're gonna go to school with like a rainbow flag tied around you as a cape, go right ahead if it's a safe environment. I don't want anyone getting hurt. Balance. Balance between school friendships, family, after school work, all sports, art, music, all these different things that are kind of thrown at us. Oh, and did I mention preparing for your future and relationships that are kind of thrown on us at a certain moment in life, and they're like, hey, go figure that out. When in reality, it's really hard to try and balance all these things in your life. And it could potentially affect your mental health, like really bad. I'll go back to the tip about keeping a planner, but sometimes things will come up and you have no idea. A great tip that I could think of is just whenever you feel overwhelmed, just take a deep breath and know that one late assignment is not going to kill you. Canceling plans with friends isn't going to be the worst thing in the world, and don't feel like everything matters so much, because you have a lot to balance out. Next tip is just simple self-care. I'm talking hygiene. Showering, getting enough sleep is a huge one, especially for students. Remembering to eat, remembering to take medication and stay hydrated, like I said, is also a lot of things to balance out, and why they seem simple, they're really important. Writing little notes and then sticking them like around your room, on your mirror, to remember to do these things can really help you. And I understand that it gets really hard sometimes, especially when you have so much to balance out. Now you have to remember to do even more, and it just feels very overwhelming. And those simple self-care things can be moved to the bottom of your list. Remember that they are important too and should be presented that way more often. Whatever you feel is best for you to remember. Also, a part of self-care could just be confidence. I made another video about that in my last one, so if you want to check that out, I'll probably link it. Also, just feeling confident, feeling like, yes, I can take on this day, is a part of just caring about yourself. A huge one is remembering that grades don't define you. One test, one assignment doesn't make you a smart or dumb person. And I feel like, especially if you are constantly down, getting a bad grade in a test can bring you down a lot more. And understanding that that doesn't define you and your ability to do anything, really. Like, you're taking a test about how the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and you don't do good on it. Does that mean that when you grow up, you're not gonna achieve your goals or anything like that? No, it's fine. While grades are important, they aren't everything. If you are struggling in school, reach out. And by reach out, I mean, if that means going to therapy, getting a friend that maybe is super smart that can help you out, going to see a tutor could really help and improve your grades, or even going to see your counselor and asking about what could potentially help. It's really hard to do everything on your own. Don't feel ashamed of just reaching out and asking for some help once in a while. Something also important in school is remembering you matter. Bullies exist, mean people exist, people who don't understand or will think that you're just weird or whatever it might be exist, and it's really sad. Just reminding yourself, wake up in the morning and say that you matter and that you're living for each and every moment, because you know that it gets better from here. School is such a short period of time in your life. High school's 4 years, middle school's 3 years. You can make it through those 7 years of, I'm gonna call it torture, because it's usually pretty bad. Remembering that you're just yourself and beautiful, and like I said, being confident will help you out. My last one is setting a goal, whether it be education-wise, friendship-wise, self-expression-wise, or even just the person you want to be personality-wise. Setting a reasonable goal, and remember the word reasonable. Hopefully, when you finish that goal, make you feel a million times better. Once you've reached that goal, you'll gain some self-confidence, you'll either make some friends, and you'll just feel overall better about yourself. And for the outro bit, I hope this video could help at least one person out there, one person who is struggling with school. So I hope that this video reaches someone who really, really needs it. See you guys soon, hopefully. Bye.